Hey guys, Jim here with another video for you. This is a quick review of the movie Weapons, which I just came back from the cinema. I just went and saw that. But before I begin, at the end of this video, if you like what you see, please consider giving me a thumbs up, if possible, subscribe. But most importantly, please leave comments below. Let me know how you feel about this video. Let me know how you feel about the movie if you've seen it. I'm going to try to make this relatively quick, and I'm not going to go into too many spoilers. I'll try to keep it as spoiler-free as possible. But I would say that for anybody interested in this movie, that the less you know about it, the better. But I won't give away anything that hasn't already been spoken about on the trailers and such, okay? So anyways, Weapons. It's written and directed by Zach Cregger, who wrote and directed the movie Barbarian, which was kind of a breakout hit right when the pandemic was over. The runtime is 2 hours and 8 minutes, and it's released from New Line Cinema. And it's got a cast starring Julia Garner, Josh Brolin, Benedict Wong, Austin Abrams, Alden Ehrenreich, Carrie Christopher, and Amy Madigan. And we'll go into that a little bit further as we go. This movie is a horror film. It is broken up into 6 chapters. Each chapter is dedicated to one character in particular, and like the movie Magnolia, which apparently was a big inspiration for this film, the characters their stories kind of come together towards the end, and they all kind of cross paths in one way or the other. Again, I'm treading lightly here because I don't want to give too much away, but the general idea of the movie, and again, this is right in the trailer, it's the hook of the movie, is that Julia Garner is a teacher, a third grade teacher. She has a class of she has a class of 18 kids. And one morning at 2:17 a.m., for whatever reason, 17 out of the 18 kids got out of their beds for no reason whatsoever, left their houses, and ran off into the night and weren't seen again. And the police and the parents and everybody are completely baffled because all the security footage from people's home security and doorbell cams and such see these children getting up on their own accord and running into the night. And not only that, but they all seem to be running with the same body language, which is with their arms behind them, and they're running in a straight line. And again, the parents, the entire town is just at a loss for what could possibly be the explanation for this. However, they are all pointing their fingers more or less at the Julia Garner character, who is the teacher, because it's her class that is involved. Except for one boy. Like I said, one little boy, and he says that he knows absolutely nothing about why his classmates all disappeared. He doesn't know why, okay? And then it jumps forward to the 6 different characters, okay? And you follow the first character. The first chapter is dedicated to the Julia Garner character. And then the second chapter is dedicated to the Josh Brolin character, Archer, who is one of the parents of one of the missing children. The third chapter is about a character named Paul, played by Alden Ehrenreich, who is a local cop. And he is involved with Julia Garner's character romantically. The next chapter is you follow Benedict Wong's character, Marcus, who is the principal of the school. And that's during that chapter is when the big reveal happens, when you find out exactly what's behind it all, okay? And then the final chapter is about young Alex, played by Carrie Christopher. And that's as far as I'm going to go into the plot, because again, the less you know, the better. There's a lot of surprises to this movie, and I certainly don't want to spoil them. But I will give you what my thoughts are. First and foremost, it's a very entertaining movie. I can see why the critical and audience acclaim has been very positive. I can see why this movie is making a lot of money. And unfortunately, the theater that I went to today, there was only about 6 people in the theater, including the 3 of us, me, my sister, and my niece. The 2 of them took me for my birthday, which is next week. That was my birthday movie this year, so they took me. And I really wish I could have seen this movie with a large crowd, because I have a feeling it's that type of movie, like the Final Destination films. It's just fun with a crowd. And there are moments in this movie that there's again, I'm not giving any spoilers, but there's moments of extreme violence that come out of nowhere that are quite shocking. There's moments of humor that just come out of nowhere, and one moment you're scared, or at least, kind of freaked out a little bit, and the next moment you're laughing hysterically. And that includes the ending. And again, I'm not going to go into any spoilers, but I will say this about the ending, because I can see where a lot of people would be turned off by the ending, because it's crazy. It's over the top. And all I can say is, for a crazy movie, it needs a batshit crazy ending. And on that front, this movie delivers in spades, because the last 5 minutes of this movie is insane. I mean, it's truly insane, okay? Actually, not even 5. I'd say the last 15 minutes of this movie is insane, but gloriously so. I was laughing like a little child, just giddy, and I've had that. I will say this about 2025 so far. It's been a great year for horror films, okay? This has been like the renaissance of just fun horror. I don't necessarily mean scary. I mean fun. Final Destination Bloodlines was fun. The Monkey was fun. Until Dawn, which isn't a very good movie, but it was fun, okay? This movie is superior in quality to all of those other films. It's fun, okay? Sinners is fun to a certain degree, okay? And I would say Sinners is probably better than all of these other horror films, okay? It's still the standard for this year as far as I'm concerned. There is one movie that I have seen that is right in the running with that for Film of the Year so far. But that being said, Weapons it's a lot of fun. It's original. I think this filmmaker's got a very, very strong future. I enjoyed Barbarian quite a bit. I enjoyed this movie quite a bit. If I had to rate this on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd give it a solid 8. A solid 8. It's not a masterpiece, okay? But it's a movie that I will definitely revisit. It's definitely a movie that I will own when it comes out on Blu-ray. I will buy it immediately. And it's a movie that I look forward to seeing again. Because I have a feeling it's one of those movies that the more times you see it, the more things you'll pick up on. And from that perspective, yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. A couple of other things that I want to mention that really stand out about this movie, again, like I said, I really liked the fact that it was an original idea. The beginning of the film, the opening sequence where they're talking about the little kids disappearing and you see them running off into the night, it's played to the background track of Beware of Darkness from George Harrison. And I thought that was just chef's kiss, okay? It's creepy as hell, and I never got that from that song, but paired with that imagery, it's very, very effective. There is one shot in the movie that I kind of thought was a little bit over the top, too much. It has to do with, I'll just go ahead and say it, because again, it's not really... The movie, in a way, okay, and again, it's not giving away. With all the children disappearing, the allegory is that, it's like what a community feels like when there's a mass shooting at a school, for instance, okay? And there is a scene in the movie where one of the characters is having a dream, and he follows one of the missing children to a house, and he's standing outside the house, and above the house for a moment, you see a giant automatic weapon. And it looks like something out of a Freddy Krueger movie. And again, it didn't upset me. Okay, I'm not pro-gun, I'm not anti-gun. I just thought it was unnecessary. I already understood where the allegory was coming from. It didn't need that image, okay? Outside of that, that's really the only bitch I've got about the movie. And it's a small one. The other thing I want to mention is the performances across the board are phenomenal. Julia Garner is great. Josh Brolin's great. Benedict Wong, who is probably most famous from the Doctor Strange movies, playing Wong, okay? He always plays these gentle, warm characters, and for this movie, he is as well, until something happens. And again, they show that in the commercials too, but I'm not going into it, but genuinely creepy. Alden Ehrenreich, who, again, I've seen him in other movies. He's a good actor. He played the young Han Solo in the Solo Star Wars. I think this is one of his best performances. But the three performances that I really want to mention and again, I'm not going to go into the spoilers, but I want to mention them. Kerry Christopher, who plays the young boy Alex, is very effective. He's great. But the two standout performances for me in this movie, one is from an actor that I'm unfamiliar with, and the other one was from an actor who I absolutely love and I haven't seen in a while. But the one that I've never seen before is Austin Abrams. He plays James, who is a troubled character. You follow he's one of the chapters. All I'll say about his character is that he's a drug addict. And again, he plays the character perfectly, okay? The other standout, and this is where I'm treading lightly, from veteran character actor Amy Madigan. I won't go into who her character is or what she does. All I'll say is that I've always enjoyed Amy Madigan. I think she's a great actress, and it was wonderful to see her in a substantial role in a major movie again. And I hope that this leads to like a career renaissance for her, because again, I've always been a fan of hers. So Amy Madigan is phenomenal in this film. Okay? And that's as far as I'm going to go with that. So overall, like I said, I understand I said this was going to be short, and we're over 11 minutes now, so I'm going to wrap this up. But again, all I want to say is if you like horror, you like original horror, you like movies that are a little bit out there, okay, and you just strap in for the ride, okay, I think you'll really enjoy this film. It's not the same old, and that's one of the things that I really enjoyed about it. It seems like it's mainly practical effects, and there are some genuine sequences in this movie that are quite unnerving. So anyways, we're going to wrap this up. I just want to thank each and every one of you. If you waited this long and lasted this long on the video, I want to thank all of you for sticking it out. And again, I want to say, please, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, a possible subscribe, but most importantly, please leave those comments below. Let me know how you feel about this film. Okay? We'll be talking to you guys on the next one. Hope everybody has a great day. Take care.